To begin our warm-up, we're going to loosen up our hip capsules. We're going to start in a quadruped position, which means hands and knees. You want your knees under your hips and your hands under your shoulders. From there, you're going to rotate your right foot out and push your body back until you feel some tension and restriction in the front and side of your hip. From there, you're going to begin by doing external rotations, rotating your body to the right, starting with your knees, getting your femur, your leg bone, to massage and rotate on the inside of your hip capsule. You'll do about 15 rotations in this direction, nice and slowly, trying to limit the rotation to just your hips. From there, you'll go ahead and you'll start your reverse rotations counterclockwise internally. Once you've completed both directions on your right side, you're going to shift your weight back forward, rotate your right leg back in, and then your left foot out. Then you're going to begin by again pushing your body back until you feel any restriction in the left hip, and start your external rotations, rotating your hips to the left 15 times, and then 15 times back to the right. Take your time, go slowly. Make sure you're feeling that discomfort inside of your hip capsule. It shouldn't hurt, but you should feel something going on. If you're not, try limiting your motion even more. Imagine that you're hula hooping with your pelvis. It's very small, slow, concise circles. Once you've done both legs, you're going to go back into child's pose just to stretch your lower back a touch. Don't worry about how far you can bring your glutes to your heels. Just do what's comfortable and don't overstretch. You're going to resume the quadruped position, beginning again with your right leg and then circling back to your left, one more time on each side. 15 rotations each direction, each leg. Go slowly. You should be able to push yourself back a little bit further this time without feeling so much restriction in your hip. If you don't worry, it'll get there. As you finish this up, start thinking about your next position, which will be our glute bridge position, laying on your back with your feet spaced shoulder width apart and your knees bent towards the ceiling. You also want to place your arms out by your side, palms up to stretch your chest. Now we begin our segmented bridges. You want to start by posteriorly tilting your pelvis, aka flattening your back to the mat, as well as squeezing your glutes as hard as you can. You want to keep that tuck and squeeze as you slowly begin to press off the mat, beginning with your butt first, ending with your lower back off of the mat, still being nice and flat. Once you're in your peak position, you're going to hold this for 15 seconds, breathing, feeling that stretch through the top of your legs, making sure that your back stays flat. This is much different than bridges most people are used to. A lot of people just shoot straight up, seeing as high as they can go. However, those don't work the areas that we are trying to do, and they do not achieve the goals that we are trying to achieve. You want to make sure that you tuck, squeeze, and press up to feel the stretch and straighten your back. Remember, we're correcting things. You're going to do this a total of 3 times, 15 seconds each contraction, holding at the top, squeezing, and then slowly lowering yourself back down, mid-back to glute. If done properly, you should notice a difference between these and the standard glute bridge that does not tuck and squeeze. Your glutes are much more engaged in this, allowing your hamstrings to relax and the proper muscles to work. Once you've completed all 3 reps, you're going to go ahead and pull your knees into your shoulders to gently stretch your lower back. If you feel any pinching, just back off the stretch a touch. Try to keep your knees open towards your chest to open up your hips. Once you've completed, you're going to place your feet back down on the floor in the bridge position and place your left ankle on top of the right knee. Slowly rotate to your left, bringing the right knee across the body to your left side, using the left foot to push down on top of the right leg to increase the stretch in the right hip. Hold for a few seconds, and then rotate to the right side nice and slowly. If you need a deeper stretch, you can use your right knee to push up on the left foot towards your shoulder more to increase the stretch through that left glute. If you'd like to pause the video, you can go ahead and do so you can pick back up where we left off when you're done stretching, ideally doing each side 30 seconds each, 2 times. Go ahead and pause if you have to get yourself into the next position, which is our 90-90 kneeling stretch. You want to kneel down on your right leg with your left leg extended out in front of the hip, belt bent at 90 degrees. To begin, you're going to posteriorly tilt again, which means tucking your hips forward to flatten your lower back. Again, with the glute squeeze, you're going to squeeze and press forward gently through the right leg, holding for 15 seconds. You would like to feel this stretch, ideally, down the front of your hip flexors and the front of your hip, possibly all the way down the front of your leg into your knee. Be gentle, as sometimes, depending on your tightness, this can be a very intense stretch. You're going to repeat this for both legs twice, holding for 15 seconds each time. Go slowly, pause if you have to, and then come back to the video when you're ready to move on to the next exercise. Our last exercise is going to be a seated exercise to stretch our hamstrings. You're going to want to sit with your legs straight out in front of you, out to the side, just a touch. You're going to begin by reaching both hands out towards your right side, exhaling as you bend, stopping when the knees start to come off of the floor. Continue to stretch, repeating this 5 times, holding for 3 seconds at the top of the stretch, aiming to extend your fingertips as far as they can each time you reach forward. Do 5 on the right, and then move to 5 on the left. I hope you've enjoyed these mobility exercises and realized the value of keeping your body loose and limber. Always remember that stretching is not a no pain, no gain exercise. If you feel pain, that's your body's way of letting you know to back off.